Hello, and greetings once again from Shelf Life Book Reviews Online. We're back again with two very intense and riveting and highly recommended fiction books that hopefully when you make your book purchases, you'll see these books in the store and you'll purchase them as well, because they are definitely books you will not be able to put down. The one writer is a very familiar author that I'm going to review, and the second one is a relative newcomer to the writing world, as opposed to the first author. And the first author is Dean Koontz. His latest book is Quicksilver. This is published by Thomas and Mercer, and it retails for $40.99. Dean Koontz has been writing about, I think he started about the same time Stephen King began in the mid-1970s. He started as purely a horror writer, and over the years he has evolved into one of the most sought after and highly recommended authors out there. His books, some do have horror, but he also adds thrills, suspense, fantasy, science fiction, you name it. These elements are part of his books, and Quicksilver definitely has that. The book begins with the discovery of a newborn baby left in the middle of a highway. He's left in his bassinet, and three men come upon him early one morning, and they find him. Now, you could say the people were the three wise men finding the child. There's that allegory that's been noted as well. So they take the little baby to an orphanage. Actually, pinned to his baby blanket is the word, Quicksilver, and that's his name. So he is raised in the orphanage, and when he gets to his later teen years, he does finally leave. He works for Arizona Magazine, and life is fine. He realizes he is something special because he gets these intuitive sort of flashbacks to different parts of his life. It's just like he's got a special power to perceive things. And so one day he's sitting in a diner, and these two strange looking men come, and they come to either side, and they are supposedly from the ISA, the Internal Security Agency. Well, right away they're bad news. So he leaves there, but he does go to a farm, and there he meets two people, Bridget Rain King and her grandfather Sparky, and they also are trying to get away from something which they are not sure just what it is. So they soon realize, with the confrontation of the criminal element, that they have to go on the run. So they know the ISA and these other strange creatures are after them. In fact, these ISA agents have 6 fingers. And so it becomes a cross-country race for survival, as they have to stay one step ahead of these screamers, as they are called. So the book blends every element: horror, fantasy, science fiction, mystery, thrills, suspense. It's all there, as you always find in a Dean Koontz book. I can honestly say I cannot remember one Dean Koontz book that has failed to keep me motivated into reading from first page to last. And so this book is definitely one of his best. I think it's his book he's written close to 80 books, and he keeps getting better with age, just like fine wine. So if you're looking for a book that has it all. Now, it's hard to say whether this is the first book of a series or whether it's going to be one and done. But if it's one and done, we're proud to have met Quicksilver and Bridget, Rain King, and Sparky, and we hope we will see them again. Now, the second book of note is The Pledge by Kathleen Kent. This is published by Mulholland Little Brown, and it retails for $35. This is the third and presumably final book in the trilogy featuring Sergeant Betty Rizchek. She was a detective, but she has been promoted to a sergeant. And she is a tough, no-nonsense, 6 foot tall sergeant police officer who will step back from no one. And she's married to Dr. Jackie Nesbitt. That's her lover. And they have a pretty good life. And then suddenly, a young girl, a teenager, by the name of Mary Grace, they take her in from the mean streets. She's just had a baby. The baby is called Elizabeth. She's 7 months old. And they take her in. And they're very interested in raising the child, along with Mary Grace. But suddenly Mary Grace disappears. And the question is, did someone abduct her, or did she go willingly? Now, into the picture comes Mary Grace's stepfather, who wants to take custody of the child. He has unlimited resources, unlimited money, and they are unsure whether they should fight, to keep the child. But in the meantime, this is where the bad guys come into the picture. There's a man by the name of El Cuchillo, known as the Knife. He is part of a big drug cartel, and he's come to town. And he's also come to let Betty Rizchek know that another woman, Evangeline Roy, who is another cartel drug kingpin, is around. And he says, you have 2 weeks to find her. I'm going to tell you how you can find her, because she is an old nemesis of Betty Rizchek, just as El Cuchillo, the Knife, is. So he says, if you don't find her within 2 weeks, I will kill your family. So it adds a extra sense of urgency to the picture. So this is definitely a book. If you haven't read the first 2 books in the series, because this is the 3rd and final book of the trilogy, don't despair. This book is sort of a standalone book, that you know what's going on, you understand based on what is in this one, what likely happened in the earlier 2 books. So it definitely is a fight for survival, as Betty Rizchek wants to have the ultimate confrontation with Evangeline Roy, her nemesis for so long. And you just keep turning the pages faster and faster, because you want to see how this story resolves. And based on the ending, it seems that this is likely the end, though Kathleen Kent could decide to do another, trilogy with a different set of characters. But in the meantime, make a pledge to read The Pledge, because this is definitely a book that you will not be able to put down. So those are the 2 books by 2 really great authors, Dean Koontz and Kathleen Kent. So thank you for watching Shelf Life Book Reviews Online. Please do send me your comments. Please subscribe to my channels on YouTube and the Facebook Shelf Life page as well too. So as always, I thank you, and I say stay safe, stay sane, stay social distancing, and do stay in touch, and I'll see you again real soon. Thanks again. Bye for now.